Welcome everyone to this Java tutorial. So today we'll learn about Java constructors, and this will be the first part of Java constructors tutorial. So in Java we use constructor to create new objects. So what is a constructor? A constructor is a special method with no return type and the name matches the name of the class. So I have just created a Java project with two classes, one with a main method to execute my program and one empty class person. So to create a constructor, first I will use the access modifier keyword public, for example, and there is no return type. Then I have to use the name that matches the name of the class person. Then I won't put any argument for my constructor. So I will have empty parentheses, then curly braces, and I won't put any code between my curly braces. So that's how we create a simple constructor with no argument in Java. So in Java, a constructor is typically used to initialize instance variable. So let's create some instance variable. So here, public string name, for example. So let's try to initialize this instance variable in my constructor. So here I will put the argument name, and in the body of my constructor I will put name equal to name. So let's check the results. So here I will create a new person, so I have to put the type of my variable person. So my variable will be named person1 equal new keyword new, then the name of my class person. Then I have to put the argument which will be the name of the person, Dave, for example. And let's display the results of the name of person1. So here to display, I will use system.out.println. Then I will use my variable person1.name because my instance variable is public. I can access it like that. So run. So the results is not Dave, it's null. Why? Because here Java doesn't recognize that the name here is referring to the instance variable name. So here Java is not doing anything on the value of the name of person. So we have to use the keyword this. So run. So now the result is Dave, because now Java recognizes that this .name is referring to this instance variable. And you have another alternative to change this. You have just to change the name of your argument. Then now name will be equal to name. Run. So the result will be Dave, because there is no duplication in the name of variable, and Java recognizes that the name is referring to the instance variable name. So let's put this keyword, because most of the time we are using this keyword. So like that it's working. We have Dave, but you have to worry about the side of this .name. For example, if you put this .name on the right side, so now the result will be null, because now we are not assigning any value to the name. We are doing the inverse. We are assigning the value this name, which is null, to the argument person. So we are not doing anything. So you have to worry about this. This name must be always on the left side because you're assigning the value of the argument in your constructor into your instance variable. So for example, if I have another instance variable here, for example, age, then here you are initializing the age without an argument in the constructor. Here 40, for example, so it will be a primitive integer. So in this case, you are not required to use this keyword because there is no confusion between the argument of the constructor and your instance variable. So you can just delete the age. And here, if you are displaying the results, so I will have Dave 40. So that's good. So Java provides us with a default constructor if no constructor exists. So Java provides a default constructor if no constructor exists. So for example, if I delete all this, so now it's working because Java is using the default constructor generated here. But if I create some constructor with argument, so string name, then empty body, for example, so now it's not working anymore because it provides a default constructor just if no constructor exists. So now I can use the default constructor. So now it's Java is not using the default constructor, he's using the same constructor with no argument that I have just created. So what if I put private just here? So now it's not working because the access modifier of constructor is private, so I can't use it. But there is some case where the constructor is private, but the method contains some static variable. For example, string name equal to Dave. So now I can't instantiate my method. I can instantiate my method just inside the class person because the access keyword of my constructor is private, but I can use some static variable and some static method. For example, I can use the static variable name just here, name, and I can display it, print line, name. So I can display it just here. And I can also create some static method, public static void print some text, for example. Then here I will print some text. So displaying by static method of person. So now I can use my static method by the name of the class. So just call that print some text, and that's all. So here I will be displaying, I will be using my static method. So there is some use case where you need a private constructor where you can instantiate your class inside the method, inside the class person, or you can just use some static method and some static instance variable. So I hope that the first part of Java Constructor tutorial was good. And in the second part, we'll see overloading constructor. So don't hesitate to subscribe for more, and thanks for watching.